Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today we are chatting through all of the books I read in September. I read 9 books in September. This is the stack of some of them, most of them, just missing one. And it was a pretty good month. I would say my ratings were pretty low, but I still enjoyed everything for the most part. So let's look at the stats first, because that is how I love to start these videos, with numbers. So I read 9 books, like I said. That totaled to 3,301 pages. My average rating was a 3.55, which is very low for me. I usually get like a 4 average rating. In the last couple of months, it's been around a 3.8, 3.9, and now 3.55. This might be my lowest rated month yet of the year, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. You can see in the bottom left that I had 5 4-star books and 4 3-star books. Didn't give any 5 stars in the month of September. That's pretty sad. As for series, basically every single book that I read was a part of a series, which is awesome. I started 2 series, I continued 1 series, and I finished 5 series. One of those series that I finished, I actually decided to DNF. So one of the series I started and one of the series I finished was the same, because I read the first in a series and didn't decide to continue that series. But otherwise, I finished 4 series, which is awesome. As far as where the books came from, I owned some of these books. They were from my personal shelves, and 2 of them came from the library. As far as genre, 1 of them was contemporary, 5 of them were mystery. It was a very mystery heavy month. 1 was a nonfiction, 1 was a romance, and 1 was a sci-fi. Lastly, as far as how I consumed these books, 2 of them I read strictly physically with my eyeballs, and 7 of them were audiobooks. So that is the stats. I would say a wide range, but it's usually much bigger of a range than this, with only 5 genres represented and reading 5 books in the mystery category. That was a very big mystery month, which is not normal. I feel like I have 1 or 2 books in every genre represented, but September was very mystery heavy, I guess. So let's just chat through the books. Because most of them are series, I can't really talk about a lot of what goes on in them, but I will just share what I can with you. So let's start with I don't know. How should we do this? Let's go with, I don't know. I'm just picking at random. We'll talk about the Thursday Murder Club books that I read. I read the 3rd book, The Bullet That Missed, and the 4th, The Last Devil to Die. This was the most recent book, and so I caught up on this series, but now 1 more book came out in the Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman, so I technically haven't caught up to this series, but at the time that I finished the book, I was caught up. So this is a lovely series about a group of people who live in a retirement home, and they meet on Thursdays to solve murders. Most of them are cold cases that are brought to their attention because Elizabeth, one of the main gals, used to be an agent, a special agent. Somehow though, those cold cases are always brought to the forefront and like into the present timeline, and it's always really fun. So in this one, Elizabeth, that main female character, is being hunted down, I would say, for her expertise to take down a well-known villain. I guess that's what this one is mostly about. And then this one is about a drug deal gone wrong. Basically, that's what I'm going to tell you about these 2. They were great. They were fun. I gave them both 5 stars. Then let's go to another series that I finished. I wrapped up the Plotting the Stars series by Michelle A. Berry by reading Ashgarden. This is the 3rd in the series. There's Moon Garden. Actually, they're right behind me here. Moon Garden, Sea Garden, and Ashgarden in the last. These are loose retellings or reimaginings of The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Mostly Moon Garden, I would say, is that retelling, and then Sea Garden and Ashgarden branch off. This is about Myra. She has botan powers, which are magical powers that can grow plants and flowers and trees and, you know, all plant life. In the first one, Moon Garden, we are following her and her friends as they are trying to grow this secret garden while plants are forbidden and they're thought of as poisonous. But Myra and her friends learn that that's not the case. Now in Ashgarden, lots of crazy things happen. They are traveling to different planets in the universe, where in Moon Garden, they're only on the moon. Sea Garden and Ashgarden, they are in different planets and learning new things about magic and what the government has kind of kept from them regarding plants and other magical things and people. So yeah, this was a really great ending. I would say that Moon Garden was my favorite out of the entire series, but I feel like Ashgarden was a great, strong ending for the series, and it's a phenomenal young adult or more middle grade series, and sci-fi fun, but with also those reminders of that classic book, Secret Garden. So I'm definitely going to recommend this series to any middle grader I can, or anybody I know who loves to read middle grade books. Then the last series, oh no, we finished a lot more series. Okay, so another series I finished was the Me Before You series by reading Still Me by Jojo Moyes. This book I don't feel like was necessary. I loved Me Before You, but I didn't necessarily need After You or Still Me in this trilogy. I liked Me Before You for what it was, enjoyed the characters Louisa and Will in that book, and now in Still Me we are just following Louisa as she continues on in her life after what happened in the first book, because that's how series work. But in this one, she's in New York. She has a new person that she cares for. She is an aide, or more so like a hired friend for this person in New York City. And she's also trying to figure out relationship with a man she met in After You. So it was fine. I think I gave it 3 stars, and didn't really think it was necessary for the main story that I loved in Me Before You, but it was still okay. Then another series I finished but only have caught up on because the next book in this series is coming out at the end of the year. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's maybe it's not Christmas. I can't remember. This is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is the 3rd in the When in Rome series. I think it's called Rome, Kentucky series anyway, but there's When in Rome, there's Practice Makes Perfect, and then there's Beg, Borrow, or Steal. In this series, we are following the siblings, what are their last name? The Walker siblings, who live in this small town of Rome, Kentucky. In this one, we're following Emily. She is one of the sisters in this family. She is a teacher, but she's also a secret author. She is working on this romance book that she's been writing for quite some time. She finally finishes the book and decides she wants to send it to an agent. She kind of has the help of one of her colleagues from the school. He's another 2nd grade teacher with her. 2nd grade? Am I right in that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But for some reason that bit of information came to the front of my brain. Anyway, he is a teacher with her, Jack Bennett, and what Emily doesn't know is Jack is this secret author. Like, he is a super well-known author who writes a mystery series, and he kind of helps her with writing her book so that it could be published. It's a really cute romance. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed my time with it, and I'm definitely looking forward to picking up the 4th and what I think should be the final in this Rome, Kentucky series, because there are 4 siblings in this family. Anyway, the next book we have is a series that I started and also finished because I'm deciding not to continue on the series. That is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Hot take, but I didn't love this one. I gave it 3 stars. It was thrilling enough, but I kind of saw what was coming. I've read enough thrillers and mysteries in my time that I feel like I can call what is going to happen early on. And so while it was thrilling and exciting and a few twists and turns were there, I kind of called what was going to happen. I kind of knew. Anyway, this is about Nina. Is that her name? No. Nina is the woman who hires, what is her name? Millie. Okay, Millie is a woman. Wow, it has been a long day. Nina is a very rich woman married to a man named Andrew, and Nina has decided they need a housemaid or help in their home. So she hires Millie to clean their house and also take care of their daughter. And it gets to be pretty creepy pretty quickly because Nina is like almost split personality. She is super nice to Millie at some point and then like completely destroys the house and blames Millie for it at other times, and something really weird is going on, and you eventually figure out what is going on and why Nina is the way she is. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everybody's read this book at this point, so I probably could talk about it more, but I'm not going to. It was fine. I gave it 3 stars. It was exciting and enjoyable while I read it, but I'm not going to continue on with this series. I will try other Frida McFadden books though. I just feel like I'm not as interested in knowing what happens to these characters after what happened in this book. Okay, another series I finished was the Cork O'Connor series by William Kent Kruger. This is the first in the series, called Iron Lake. William Kent Kruger is a Minnesota author, and I have read his other standalones. I have read Ordinary Grace, The River We Remember, and This Tender Land, and loved all of them. I think I gave 5 stars to This Tender Land and The River We Remember, and then 4 stars to Ordinary Grace. Anyway, Iron Lake got 4 stars from me. This is a really fun mystery, but what I love most about William Kent Kruger's writing is the way he can create atmosphere, and you just feel like you are jumping into the novel. You're a part of it, and I think he's going to do this wonderfully with this entire series. I was a bit skeptical because his standalones are just so magnificently written that I didn't know if that atmosphere would translate to his 20 book long series, but it does. I don't know how he does it, but he's just a good writer. So this one is about Cork. He is the retired sheriff in the town of Aurora, Minnesota, and a boy goes missing. There's a death, and there's a lot more deaths that follow that original death, and Cork is there to figure it out. Even though he isn't the town sheriff anymore, he still feels like he needs to help his town and figure out what is going on, because there are some bad people around, and he needs to try to make his town safe and solve the mystery that is afoot. So I enjoyed this one, and I will continue on with this series eventually, but I don't feel the need to pick it up right now. Like, I don't feel it's compulsively readable, but it's still super enjoyable when you're in it. So eventually I will read the next in this series. And lastly, I'm in the middle of this another probably like 20 book series. I read book 8 in the Chief Inspector Armand Gamache series by Louise Penny. This one is The Beautiful Mystery. I did not love this one as much as the others in the series. I think because it does not take place in Three Pines, which is the cute town that this series takes place in. Again, it has a very similar atmosphere, I would say, to the Cork O'Connor series, because this is just like the cutest little small town in Quebec, Canada, and the people in this town make it such a wonderful book and series. And in this one, Chief Inspector Armand Gamache and his sidekick Jean-Guy Beauvoir are not in Three Pines. They're solving a mystery in a very secluded monastery, and it was still good. It was a good mystery and kept me guessing, but we weren't in the town that I love. And so I ended up giving this one 3 stars. So, oh, we forgot about the book that's not physically here. The last book that I will talk about today is How to Know a Person by David Brooks. This is a nonfiction about seeing people deeply and being deeply seen. And this one was okay. I probably would not have picked it up if it weren't for my college friends book club. We call ourselves the Honeybee Book Club. One of my friends chose this one for our October read, or October discussion, September read. Anyway, that's not important. And she wanted to discuss it. So it was fine, but I feel like a lot of the information that the author was sharing is obvious, at least to a person who is good at talking to people and knowing people. So yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was self-explanatory. What I did enjoy was his talk about accompaniment when someone is going through grief or suffering or depression. He gives you some good tips on how to just be with them. He says the best thing to do instead of trying to fix their situation is just to sit with them, accompany them, and help them know that you are there. So I liked that. And then I also liked what he had to say about how to have meaningful conversations with people. You need to actively listen. And I liked his tips on leading questions so that you can foster a good conversation with someone, especially as a mom and one who will have teenagers eventually. I feel like it is a good idea to know how to have a conversation with someone who might just give you one-word answers. So I liked that discussion there. But ultimately, like I said, it was self-explanatory and stuff I already knew. So I am giving this one 3 stars. All right, now we're done. Those are the 9 books I read in September. It's nuts that we are 3/4 of the way through the year. Let me know if you have read any of, gotta flip them around, these books and what you thought of them. Did you agree with my thoughts on them or did you disagree? As always, it would be great to have some discussion down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.